Good afternoon and Jai Hind children. As you can see that today my way of teaching is different from the previous days. Till now, all of you are acquainted with the word verb. All action words and doing words are called verbs. They are classified into two parts, main verbs and auxiliary verbs. Main verbs are further divided into three parts, transitive verbs, intransitive verbs and incomplete verbs. Transitive verb carries one object after it. Intransitive verbs do not carry any object after it, and incomplete verbs means verbs which needs any complement to complete the sentence. Up to here I have taught in the last class. I hope it is clear to all of you. Now the auxiliary verbs are simply helping verbs as they help us to form the tenses. That is time of action, moods or voices of other verbs. Example, am, was, has, may, can, etc. The auxiliary verbs are again divided into two parts, primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. What are primary auxiliaries? The verbs which help to form continuous tense, perfect tense and perfect continuous tense to the main verbs are called primary auxiliaries. And what are modal auxiliaries? The auxiliaries that are used according to the mood of the sentence for obligation, probability, possibility, those are called modal auxiliaries. We use will, shall, should, must, ought to, etc. as modal auxiliaries. They are divided into three forms. Primary auxiliaries are divided into three forms. Be verbs in present, am, is, are, in past, was, were. Example, he is a good boy. Is be verb. Do verbs again are divided into two, present and past. Do, does is used in present tense. Did is used in past tense. We do our homework regularly. Example, third one is did. Did is the past form of be verb. Then have verb. Have verb is has and have is used in present tense and had is used in past tense. Now primary auxiliary verbs can also be used as main verbs. While using primary auxiliaries, we should follow number, person and tense. That means the verb must agree to the subject in number and person like the main verbs. I have 5 shirts. I is first person singular number but is treated as plural, so have. She is third person singular number, so it carries a singular verb does. The primary auxiliaries change according to the person and number of the subject. I am writing, you are writing, she is writing, they are writing. Now you can see I carries am, you both second person, it is used as plural subject. So plural subject always carries plural verb. You are. Second person singular is also you. Second person plural is also you. She is third person singular number. It carries singular verb is. They third person plural number. So it carries are. Modal auxiliaries are also helping verbs used with the main verbs to express moods like obligation, possibility, permission, necessity, etc. Some of them have present tense and past tense both. Future verb is used in future tense like will and shall. In past tense, in case of will, we use would. Would is used to express request. Would you help me? Future verb shall is used in future tense as well as to show certainty. Certainty means it is going to happen. Example, I shall score good marks. It is showing certainty. In past tense, should is used to express instruction. You should not be late. Here should is used as instruction to someone. Whenever we give instruction or instruction is given to anyone, we use should as a modal verb. Can and could are used to express ability. Can we use in present form, present ability, and could be used in past form, that is in past ability. I could dance in my childhood means in my childhood I could dance. It was my ability to dance in childhood. May is used for permission, possibility, and probability. For permission, may I come in? When more possibility is there, we use may. It may rain today. Now, might is used as less possibility. It might rain today. Must is used to express instruction, necessity, or duty. You must be on time. You must stand during national anthem. Ought to is used to express moral obligation. You ought to respect your elders. The main verbs are further divided into finite verbs and non-finite verbs. A verb that agrees to the subject in person and number is called a finite verb. Ram plays football. Ram is third person singular number, so S is added to the verb play to make it singular. Third person singular number carries a singular verb after it. Always remember, singular verbs carry S after it and there is no S after plural verb. So never forget to write S after the singular verb. Whenever the subject is singular, third person singular number, singular verb will be used after it. If S is not added to the verb, you will get 0. So be careful. Non-finite verbs. A non-finite verb is a verb form that does not show any tense. They cannot be changed into past tense or present tense or future tense. Example, reading, dancing, boiled, to play, broken, etc. Non-finite verbs are of 3 types. The infinitives. The infinitives we show with the help of to, that is joined before V1 form of the verb, like to play. The gerund, V plus ing form of the verb, it is used as a noun in a sentence. That means in the noun's place it is used, either in subject's place or in object's place. Now the participles. The participles are of 3 types. First one is present participle, V plus ing. Second one is past participle, V3 form. And third one is perfect participle, having plus V3. Now infinitives are again of 2 types. One is 2 plus V1 form and another one is bare infinitive. 2 plus V1 form, see the example to it. We eat to live. To live is 2 plus V1 form. It is easy to solve. To solve is 2 plus V1 form. To err is human. To err, it is 2 plus V1 form. That is infinitive, simple infinitive. Now look at the examples of bare infinitives. Bare infinitives means V1 form of the verb without to before it. He made me laugh. I heard him cry. He did not let me go. Now, let me tell you one thing. Whenever the main verbs are made or make or hear, heard, let, see, watch, these main verbs always carry bare infinitive after it. That's why see, laugh is bare infinitive. Now, next come to the gerund. What is gerund? Gerunds are also called verbal nouns. Means V plus ing form of the verb when it is used in place of a noun, that is in subject's place or object's place, we call it gerund. Look at the example. Walking is an exercise. I like reading books. Singing is my hobby. Walking, reading, singing, all are used in subject's place or object's place. Walking is used in subject's place, reading is used in object's place, and again singing is used in subject's place. Now, the third form is the participles. They are also called verbal adjectives. They are of 3 types, V plus ing, V3 and having plus V3. Look at the examples. Present participle is V plus ing. One proverb is there. There is a common proverb, rolling stone gathers no moss. Stone is noun, rolling is V plus ing, that is present participle, qualifying stone. So it is present participle. The child has a smiling face. Face is again noun. Smiling is doing the work of an adjective. That is V plus ing form, doing the work of an adjective. Now look at past participle, V3 form. A burnt child dreads fire. Child is noun, burnt is V3 form, doing the work of an adjective. This is a boiled egg. Egg is noun, boiled is again V3 form, used as an adjective. So these are all past participles. Now third form is perfect participle, having plus V3. Having finished the work, he went to bed. Finished is V3. Having typed the letter, he did his signature. Typed is again V3 form. So these are examples of perfect participles. Now, I hope all of you have understood the classification of verbs. I am giving some homeworks to solve in PDF form. All of you must practice it, and if you have not understood anything, you can write to me between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Thank you and have a nice day.